You ain't gotta question these. Shawty, I'ma always ride out, even when we passing need. Shawty, I'm yours, you're mine now. This is got me, got you.
What it is, what is up, what it do? It's me, Asian, and I'm back with another video. Video, 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 video. It's a video. It's a video. It's a video. It's a video. I'm back with another video. And today, as you can tell by the title, I'm about to tell y'all why I started YouTube. Why did I start YouTube? So basically, this is exactly how I started YouTube. Really, these are the reasons why I started YouTube. Hold on, because like, y'all, I'm on the floor and I'm sitting on the pillow, and I just want y'all to be able to see me. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. So, why I started YouTube? Basically, the reason why I started YouTube is what I want y'all to know is, first of all, I want y'all to know this because I know that a lot of people, I don't know that a lot of people think this, but I know some, maybe 1, 2, or 3, I don't really care. But I heard this, I've heard this before, and I've heard someone tell me that, oh, I'm only doing it for that check. For one, if you guys really want to know my business, I'm not just doing it, you know, just to get a YouTube check. Like, I'm really not, because I guarantee you, if I would have known that it wasn't going to be this easy, I would have stopped a long time ago. But have I? No. Why? Because it's called work. It's called work. You know, and I want y'all to know that every time I make a video, every time I edit a video, and then I upload it, and then I wait for that publish load and to pop up so I can drop it, so I can deliver to y'all, it makes me the happiest person in the world. I'm like, yes, I dropped it. They can see it. Yes, like, I be so happy because I know that I just gave y'all content, and that's what y'all been waiting for. And especially those who text me and be like, hey, what you doing? Like, you gonna drop a video? Like, those who ask me and just continue to just keep on pushing me, those are the real people, and those are my real supporters. So basically, okay, so without further ado, oh yeah, before we get into this video, I want y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications, so that way you know when I post, that way you can be a part of the authentic gang, and if you're a little one, you can be my authentic baby. So basically, we finna go into it like this. Why my head look like an egghead? But okay. Basically, the reason why I started YouTube was because I wasn't vocal. I wasn't too vocal, and I'm not talking about lyric wise. Like, no, I'm not talking about lyric. I'm not talking about singing. No, I'm talking about vocal. Like, as far as talking and speaking up and debating and all this other stuff. I wasn't too vocal, and I thought that if I made my YouTube, because at the time I already knew what I was gonna do on my YouTube channel. But at the time, I was listening to people, I was listening to celebrities, you know, that I hadn't listened to in a long time. And I had looked at some of their interviews, and I was just so shocked about how woke they were. And if you guys don't understand what I mean, I'm talking about how they paid attention to what society was trying to build or break down. And they knew the tricks and, you know, the slick things that was happening in office and the government and all that other stuff. And I would listen to their interviews, and I would pay attention. And really, ever since middle school, I've always loved social studies. I've always loved history. I can guarantee this. I can tell you this right now. If we're in a class and we have history, I am paying attention. Whether it's about African slaves, whether it's about World War II, I am paying attention 100%. 100%. Because I just love how history made a big effect on me, and how I can just love history, because I know a lot of people my color do not like history, like, at all. Like, they think it's boring. They think we should know it. Like, and really that's them. I can't really change their mind. But at that time, I had already knew about, the Trayvon Martin case and George Zimmerman and, a lot of things that were happening or had happened. And I remember this is how I realized I was so into the political things and social justice at that. I had watched Fruitvale Station for the first time. I was sitting in my room on my floor, and I was just watching it on my laptop. And I remember tearing up at the end because I just couldn't believe it. And then I found out that it was a true story. So for me, finding out it was a true story, I did my research. I tried to see how old his daughter was today. And yeah, I forgot his name. I'm trying to think of it, but y'all know, if you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, you need to watch it. It's with starring Michael B. Jordan, and I think Cicely Tyson plays his mother in the movie. But I think that her name, Cicely Tyson. I think it's her. I think that's her. But yeah, he plays this character who is just, I'm gonna try to summarize it the best that I can, but yeah, he just plays this character, and in the end, he ends up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, I'm not even gonna spoil it, because those who haven't seen it, and it's old, so you might want to see it. I think it came out in more like 2014, maybe 13. I don't think it came out in 2016. But yeah, like, y'all need to watch it. And after I saw that, like I told y'all, I did my research. And then I started seeing all these other cases. At the time, you got the officers killing innocent bystanders for no reason. And I started really getting into that. I remember I also used to be on Snapchat. I used to really talk about those situations sometimes. I used to talk about it, and I knew I used to get a lot of slide ups with the hundreds and saying, real talk and all this other stuff. And then I just wasn't doing it anymore. So I figured if I started my YouTube now, not saying that people will listen, but those who are watching would just take the time to watch this, maybe spread the word. And like I told y'all before, I feel like when a problem is going on, we tend, as a people, and this is just common and this happens randomly, but we tend to stop when the problem is finished, not knowing or understanding that history does and will repeat itself. And we know these problems will happen again. That's why we pray that it doesn't happen to our brothers or our dads or, our children. And then again, it does. And then that's when we feel the need to speak up. And I feel like if we were consistent and kept on not just bringing the problem up, but making it known that this is what happens. And there might be some people that say, well, why would you, it's his fault if he started running. Y'all know the man that was running from the cop. It happened probably weeks ago. The black man that was running from the cop, and he shot him. And I think they said that the black man was armed or something like that. But, he was running for his life. And I guess he was saying, don't shoot. But, still, we continue to brush these issues aside, knowing that one day it could potentially happen to someone that we love, and we don't start to speak about it until it happens. And that's the sad thing about it, because we don't ever want to dwell on the thought that something bad could happen to one of our family members or someone that we love dearly to us. But it happens because I'm not gonna say it just does, because I told y'all I don't believe anything happens by accident. And I'm not saying those people who have passed on from gun violence or brutality, police brutality, that needed to happen to them, but I'm saying that things happen through a plan. And I know a lot of people just won't understand that, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not gonna go any more into it. But yeah, that's basically why I started, because I wanted to be more vocal. And really, I was always that kid where if you said something ignorant that had to do with social justice or slavery and class or police brutality, and you said something ignorant, like, in the back of my mind, I would be like, are you serious? Like, you have no idea what these people went through, and you're already talking about what you would and would not have done, knowing good and well that it would not have turned out in your favor. Like, at the end of the day, you would be dead by now, just talking like that back then. So don't. Y'all love to just, and really, I feel like when they say that, you're living in a pretend world. You're living in your world, because in the real world, that would not have went your way either way. So, I take social justice very seriously. I have a lot of social justice songs on my phone, as far as J. Cole and Kanye, Kendrick, and all that other stuff. I have a lot of those people in my phone. T.I. is he's very big when it comes to social justice and speaking political. But I told y'all in the beginning, I'm not a political person, but I just wanted to try being vocal and see how that took me. And I feel like people needed to know, like, how I feel, and I always wanted to be that person, that stays woke. And that's really what you have to practice, because you have to get involved. You have to look at things that you may not want to look at. You have to research things that you may not believe to be true. That's why you have to do more digging, and you have to really just pay attention to things that go on every single day. That is staying woke, and that's really what I'm practicing, because I feel like that is very important to me, not only from history being just because it's a part of my color, but just because I love history and I love hearing things or seeing people address these type of situations. And I always want to be one of those people to address those situations. And that's exactly, well, I didn't address anything, but I just told y'all my opinion, let y'all know how I felt from it. And I felt like went pretty well. And a lot of times, like any other black person, it's really common for us to look at police brutality, or just to see how things were back then. Maybe even see your own kind disrespecting your own kind in a way that you would think that they are another kind. It's common for us to get mad, and it's just, to me, yes, I get mad at those situations. Yes, I start talking back at the TV. Yes, I do this. Yes, I do that. But, do I see everybody that way? No, I don't. And I feel like that's what's wrong today. The fact that you have racism and, people who just decide to not be supportive. You got black on blacks, they not everyone is supportive of your goals. Not everyone wants you to make it, not even people in your circle. And that's just that they all have, sometimes some things be going on, and it may not be your best situation, but you see someone with more and that's doing more, and you feel some type of way, or you feel out of place, or you feel like you just don't belong. And that's when the hatred comes in, you know. And a lot of times it shouldn't be that way at all. But the world is in a perfect place, and I don't expect it to be. But as far as change, though, we have been calling and asking and crying out for change since I don't know when. And I know it was way before I was born. So it's like we see things change, but is there really a change? Like, you would think this type of stuff would stop, but it keeps on continuing. Why? Because history repeats itself. So yeah, guys, you got a little taste of why I started YouTube. I started it to be vocal, but I didn't know that I was going to fall in love and start doing more. I never thought I was going to be able to do a story time, because I always thought my life wasn't really that exciting. Not me being with others and, oh, we did this. Like, no, I'm talking about my life. I never thought it was really exciting. I always thought it was boring. If anything happened, like, watch, tell a story about it, it's old. But like, as far as me having juicy stories, like, I never thought I would be able to have a story time, and then I did. I talked about Keisha from across the street. And for those who don't know, Keisha from across the street is just somebody that you've been using for like weeks now. It's just an imaginary person that I've been using. I don't know nobody named Keisha. It's just an imaginary person that I've been using. So like, yeah, I was on stage. I was like, you're supposed to be with me. Tell Keisha from across the street she can't have you. Like, that's just a character that I have developed, and I use her now. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on my post notifications so that way you know when I post, so you can be a part of the authentic game, be a part of my authentic babies. And yeah, guys, that's basically why I started. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Live another day, another dollar. Live life to the very fullest. Peace and love to you. I'm sorry, you didn't hear me? I said peace and love to you. Yeah.
Running in circles, you got me running in